So here we are at the bench again. The airbrush is clogged. I've been doing some masking this morning and it's quite badly clogged. Let me try and get that. So that's all Vallejo. We haven't got a very good. I haven't got light further up here. That's the trouble. That's Vallejo primer in there, and trust me when I say that that's pretty much dried on. In the time it's taken me to get the camera set up and everything, that's dried on, so it needs cleaning, and that's what I'm going to show you today, how I clean my airbrush. Everybody's got their own method. This is mine. Let me turn the other light on. Get a bit more brightness on the situation. So first of all, I just disconnect it from the air, and then I get this bit of kit. Not everyone's fortunate enough to have one of these. It's ultrasound cleaner, and it's got a little basket in. So basically all I do is, now they tell you not to put the body or anything like that in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I've got to say, I've been putting the body in and I've not had any problems at all. So I don't know whether there's something that I'm missing, that maybe there's something detrimental that's being done that I'm not aware of, but I've had no problems. So sometimes I dismantle that. I have a look at, depends if it's got if it's really dirty or anything, but basically that all comes apart like that. It goes in there. I take this bit off. I don't put that in because that's just air coming through there. And there we go. Now I'll go into the kitchen next, and I'll put just over the top of them, I'll put warm water with a tiny little bit of washing up liquid in, and then I'll put it on for 400 seconds and I'll leave it to do its thing. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll be back. So we've returned back from the ultrasound machine. Now they're very good bits of kit. They'll clean like dirt off almost all of it, but when it's heavy and it's thick like that was, you're not going to get it all off. So that's what these other tools are for. You've probably seen them. If you're anything like me, I bought the cleaning kit and then wondered what the hell all the bits were for. So what we've got here are the cleaning, they're like pipe cleaner type things, various sizes, and they go, for example, the second smallest one, this is a Harder Steenbeck airbrush, which I bought from Mike Jolly. Very good price. This one is, I believe, the Evolution yeah, it's on the side there, Evolution CRplus2, and I think I paid £130 on that. I'm not entirely sure. This is essential, this piece of equipment here. It's like a long thin needle, and I use this all the time, and I highly recommend getting it. You see this here, now this was stuck on really bad before. It's been through the ultrasound, and we just hook it under and pick it off, and there we go. And then if we can see, I need to bring the light in for this. I can see looking down there that the yes, the ultrasound has in fact cleaned everything out the bottom of there, so it's just this rim left to clean up a bit. There. And then I have a look through into the light to see if there's any paint blocked the main hole. I'm sure it's got a proper name, but for me it's the main hole. And I can see light through, but I'm just gonna send the brush up just to be sure, because the tiniest bit of paint in this area here can cause you problems. See, now I can see the sides, I can see the walls of that area, so I know now whether there's any. You can't always get all of it off. You can if you persevere with this, because you use this part of the blade here and you sort of put it in and just scrape it around the interior of that area, and then it's a case of looking down to see whether you've dislodged any more, and scrape again and keep going, and you'll get little bits falling out. Yeah, I can see I've dislodged quite a big piece down there. So, but generally when it comes out of the machine, unless it's been specifically, I mean, unless it's been very poorly maintained, mine, I look after mine quite well, but it hasn't been in the ultrasound for a couple of weeks. I do it quite, but normally when it comes out you can tell there's a sparkle to it that it didn't have when it went in, because, I don't know, obviously it's had fingerprints all over it, and this has still got some fingerprints there, not fingerprints, sorry, it looks like paint residue there, that's gone. That's better. So when it comes out, it's you can tell it's much cleaner. So that bit's clean now. The rear barrel very rarely needs cleaning, but I'll tell you why I put that in, because what happens is, in previous times I've not done the barrel, I've done the rest of the air gun, spray gun, and then when I've put it back together I've got a dirty barrel at the back and everything else is nice and shiny, and it just didn't look right. So now then we come to the needle. I want to spend a bit of time on the needle, this is important. Now I've got short sight, so I normally take my glasses off and I inspect the needle very thoroughly up close. I feel the surface, see if I can feel any lumps, bumps, nicks, scratches, kinks, anything like that. Inspect the tip up against the light and turn it to see if I can see any bends or anything on the edge of the tip that need dealing with. A top tip, if you do get a little kink in the end of your needle, if you get two pieces of glass and push the tip in between the two, and then you put your other glass over the top and rub it very gently together, you can straighten out most kinks, but you do that at your own risk, be very careful. Right, so that's okay. This bit's clean, so just dry it off. And this bit's clean. Now we come to the one that's probably the least likely to be clean. And that's the needle. I can't remember, is this the needle cap? That's the needle cap. That's the needle. This is the needle cap, I think, if I remember correctly. So let's have a look through here at the light. Oh, no. Well, it would seem that the ultrasound has cleared that. So just to be sure, I shall take my needle and place it in there and just give it, scrape it against the inside edge, make sure that it's, push it all the way through. Yeah, there's a little bit of paint coming out, a little bit of dry paint, which you probably won't see on the camera, but it's there. Let's have a put that up against the light again, because sometimes once you've, yeah, I can see the blockage now, because once it sticks to the wall, it's hard to. Now this can take up to 20 minutes to get right, but it's very important that you do get it right. Another look through. I'm actually going to take my glove off for this because the glove keeps getting nicked on the sharp needle at the end. There we go. There's a big piece come out there. And I can tell that's red, so that was from my London bus. So I haven't cleaned it since I finished the London bus. There's another piece just there. Well, they only look small, but they can cause problems if they're not dealt with. There's a big piece. And when I look through, this looked clear. Now, this would have all been stuck to the side wall inside, but going through the ultrasound has loosened it off. I probably wouldn't have got that out if it hadn't been for the ultrasound. And just as a small mention, ultrasounds you might think are quite hard to get. Mine, I can't remember where I got mine from, but I know Mike Jolly sells them, and I think they're $39.99. There may be postage on top of that, but go to his site, have a look, or contact him and he'll be able to give you details. But I highly recommend having one. So that's the needle cap done. So we just start to reassemble. So first things first, I will put the thumb grip on. Note the orientation, make sure you get it the right way around. Check which way the ridges go. It needs to go on this way for this model. It goes in sideways. Well, it's not sideways, it's, I call it sideways, but basically it goes in with a slot to the front and the ridges face into, so that when you run your thumb along them you feel the resistance, or when you run your finger across them, so it goes like that, so that when you push it fits your thumb. Right, then we put this section in here, and then what I find for this is if you pull this back, this section back, and nip it while you get this started, If you don't, you can find you have problems putting it together because the spring keeps trying to push away from the threads. I just find it helps to pull that little lug back while you get it started, and that should hold this in place then. That's all moving okay now. Screw this on the front and nip it up. Don't over tighten. It's the beauty of these, they're replaceable with the whole lot just comes out as one. There's no little tiny screw or should I say nut to tighten. And then you put the needle in, you want to guide it in with one of your fingers so that you don't catch the edge. Turn, I always turn mine as I'm pushing it through. You've got a bit of resistance there. Is that because that's... No, hold on. Oh. Got a little bit of resistance there. I think that basically the thumb grip the thumb trigger had come out of its positioning. Yeah, that's it. Push that home and screw that down. Should have free movement and the needle should be going in and out here. You can see that, and it should be returning smoothly without any resistance at all. If it isn't and it's sticking, there's still some paint in there and you need to find it and remove it. Put the back section on, air section on, and obviously while this was in the ultrasound, what I done was clean all the water out of any of the traps on the air gun and the mini one here. Put that in. Let's turn it on again. Make sure we've got airflow. Yeah, and you can hear the difference. So that's working perfectly now, and it's all clean, ready for the next time. So there you go, that's how I clean my airbrush. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.